Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, wow. It worked, right? Seth and James?
Yes.
It's so weird because it reverses. The camera reverses. Hey, we're in a different location-ish.
Yes. Still our house. We've actually just moved the desk a little bit forward.
Yeah, and then reversed it. Whatever.
Yeah. We're still trying to figure out like how we can zoom it in. So you see a little bit of our kitchen. It may be a little bit, the back. I don't know if I need to.
Sitting over there.
I don't know if I need to block that.
Oh, the staircase is gross. So listen, hey everybody. A couple things I want to say. It Stars in the House.
Yes.
Which is our show twice a day for the Actors Fund, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. 8 p.m. tonight is amazing guest host Andrea Martin in honor of Mother's Day with other mothers like herself, LaChance.
Yes. Charlotte D'Amboise. And Sutton Foster.
Right. She did Christmas Carol with LaChance. She did Pippin with Charlotte D'Amboise, and she did Young Frankenstein with Sutton Foster. So that's tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern.
It's going to be so fun.
There's a huge Mother's Day special happening at 3 o'clock. So basically, everybody we wanted to be on our show, we didn't even ask because they're all doing a show at 3 o'clock. So literally,
and Andrea's got those mothers covered.
Yeah,
right.
So anyway, so it's literally just us today, and we're doing a special presentation. But let's first talk about what Stars in the House is.
Yes.
2 and 8 p.m. every single day. We're raising money. Well, we're hopefully lifting spirits. I got to look up here now. It's so weird. I want to look at myself, but it's too low down. Anyway, we're raising money for the Actors Fund.
Right.
And here's how you do it. You go to starsinthehouse.com, and that's where you donate. And the minimum is $5. Where'd you get $5? I want $5. Anybody know that line? Lisa Simpson.
Oh.
Where'd you get $5? I want $5.
Oh, she's going to be on the show on Wednesday. Speaking of
Yardley Smith herself,
yes.
Lisa Simpson is coming on Stars in the
Wednesday
House.
night show.
God, I'm obsessed with her. So anyway, the minimum is $5. You go to starsinthehouse.com, donate there, and then once you donate, you're going to get a receipt. Please forward that receipt to starsinthehouse2020. We got to change that email address, man. It drives me crazy. At gmail.com.
And then I'm actually going to be getting them.
Yeah, and then we're going to read them online. Normally we have to forward them to the stars, but we are the stars.
We're doing it.
Oh, anything else we need to say?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, please share. I'm going to do that right now. So wherever you're watching right now,
I will say though. Well, okay, yeah. Do you have something right there?
Yeah, just post whatever you're watching. The link on top. Post it to your Facebook, your Twitter, so more people watch, please.
And this is actually going to be our last Sunday afternoon Stars in the House, because next Sunday afternoon is going to be Plays in the House Junior, hosted by Julie Wesley Rudetsky Wesley, and produced, artistic, directed by our good friend Anika Larson, who you will see in various places in today's show. And that begins next Sunday at 2 o'clock. And they've got the first 3 shows all lined up, and it's going to be terrific. And that's going to be next week at 2 o'clock. So this is our farewell to
yes, ma'am.
Stars in the House, as it were, on Sundays at 2 p.m. What are you trying to do,
Seth? Watch now till 3 p.m.
Right.
So yeah, post on your Facebook and your Twitter. Okay, so
big show here today.
So we're very excited. This is actually a really fun show that we put together with amazing behind the scenes video clips. Basically not for public consumption. It's all about how we made Broadway for Orlando. So we have our little ideas right here. So
and we decided this is probably going to be part 1, and then part 2 we'll do in June
with the actual stars.
Which is when we recorded it, was in June 2016.
I love that backlight behind you. Just turn that door. Yeah. I guess you could again. Anyway,
do that.
All right. So here's how it all began. You started it.
Oh, I did. Don't we have a video that kind of explains that?
No. Go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. So James's bike ride. It can't be that slow. James's bike ride.
It's Sunday.
You literally just said we're in a rush. We have to be over by 3 for the Mother's Day special.
Then we rush other things.
Okay, take your time beginning. This is fun.
So, as all of you know, the shooting for Seth, you just take a pause. It's all right. It's
I know.
Quote unquote all good.
Ew.
Yes, so that's right. So
who's on my side?
As everyone knows, cut. This is where the ADD.
Yeah.
This is why Christine Petty, I've decided, is such a great morning host on the Broadway channel, because she has that kind of voice, which especially at 6 a.m. California time is the kind of voice that you want.
Yeah, every morning you
don't want that.
But you hear it.
You don't want.
You don't
want that. 3 o'clock Eastern, noon.
Oh, Oh,
Pacific
I'm
time.
glad
is
Greg's
it.
on your side. Thanks, Greg. You know I can block people, by the way.
No, you know what, Seth? We're going to change seats here.
Go on. And
Anyway,
it's all good.
so like most of us, very depressed after the Orlando shooting in June of 2016. It happened to be the day of the Tony Awards. We had lunch with Faith Prince and Jennifer Samard. It was right next to the Beacon Theater, which is where the Tony Awards took place in 2016. And we were just talking through, and it was a celebratory day for us because we were so proud of Jennifer getting a Tony nomination for Disaster. But of course, over everyone, there was this Paul.
Yeah.
And so the next morning, I went for a bike ride, and I already had the Dionne Warwick version of What the World Needs Now Is Love on my Spotify rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to ride my bike. We lived on 74th Street at the time. Down the Hudson River, there's a path, those of you who don't know New York, that goes basically from the top of the island to the bottom of the island of Manhattan along the Hudson River. And there's a great path straight down. And so I got on the bike and started riding and listening to Dionne Warwick the entire time. And I started picturing it being like We Are the World, which, was a big part of me being a teenager and how impactful it was. And so I started picturing this same sort of thing happening, but with this song. And so by the time I got down there I don't think I went all the way downtown. I got to the Village and I went to a Starbucks, I think, and started thinking about who, what the next steps would be. We had just recorded the Disaster album. So I knew that Broadway Records would be the first person, Van Dien would be the first person to go to. And then I thought Janet Billig-Rich is the wonderful woman who cleared all the rights for the songs for Disaster and had previously done that for all of Rock of Ages from the beginning of workshop in LA all the way to the movie. And asked her, and then I went back home, and Seth was just waking up because I wake up earlier than this one usually, and told Seth this is what I thought we needed to do. And instead of saying you're crazy, Seth said, "Well,
I would never say you're crazy. I mean, not at all. No, it's a great idea.
But I did say that we had to do it soon because sadly people forget. And it was a Monday, and I said we need to do it. We need to do it really like this Wednesday." Meaning in 2 days, and do it in between shows, because that's when you can get the most people. Most of the time, people, if they're coming from out of town and work in the theater, they stay at the theater in between shows, and that would be the time to do it. And so,
so it was Monday morning. So I went
Monday morning.
It's interesting. Kind of like Stars in the House. I went into a panic, like, oh wait, can I do it? And that was kind of like when we first started doing Stars in the House. I'm like, do we need all these partners to help us? And James was like, I think we could do it ourselves. So first I was like, I need Michael McElroy to write the vocal arrangement, but he wasn't really available. Then I was like, well, I need Mark Shaman to supervise everything musically. But Mark was working on Mary Poppins Return. So
we did go down and
we met with him.
Yeah,
so we met with him, and I talked him through it. And then he was like, you could really just do this yourself. He said, I have too many deadlines. And he really helped me with his music team. We tried to get the original orchestrations, which we couldn't get. And Mark really investigated a lot for me. He was so helpful, but we couldn't get the original orchestrations. So Cameron Moncourt did the orchestrations. Yeah. Then I listened to the original version. Then I listened to the Glee version, and I kind of combined what the arrangement would be. And then we started calling people. I think I asked Idina Menzel first, and maybe Julie Porter. Then I asked Jessie Mueller, and then Jessie started being almost like our talent agent. She was like, should I ask Carole King? Like, yes, you should, dear. So she started asking various people.
Should I ask Sarah Bareilles? Yes, dear.
Yes, ma'am. So this is the actual. Well, we have a lot of video clips. But this is the actual recording of it. Part of it. This is us in the recording studio. You'll see.
This is where people are learning the chorus, right?
Yes. Here we go.
Okay. Wrong one.
Sorry. Oh, it got moved. Everything got moved.
There you go. Take it. Here we go. Here we go. What?
World needs now love, sweet love. World needs now love, sweet love. World needs now love, sweet love. World needs now love, sweet love.
Okay, so that's just an essence. So now we're going to show you more of the actual footage. So I wrote down things to notice.
Oh yeah, there's some good behind the scenes stuff here.
So this one is, so first of all, we just said we're making a recording of What the World Needs Now Is Love. We didn't really say we're videotaping. We didn't give any information.
Yes, so like back up. So this was on, what you just saw was on a Wednesday afternoon. And so back up for those 48 hours before then, Seth got a hold of, was it Charlie? For
Charlie Gordon.
So to get the 25 piece, right? Yeah. Orchestra together. So there was that going on. And then it was really a matter of just whoever came to mind is who Seth texted.
Just texting, yeah.
And you know, knowing, of course, that there was no way to get every single person that we wanted, or that later we would think, why didn't we ask?
Yeah, once in a while I'll run into somebody, I'm like, oh my God, why didn't we ask? But you know, it was just, we were just texting. It was very random.
Yeah, we didn't anticipate doing this song, and so it isn't like we had some
grand
you know
plan.
like some producers have a big board in their office. Sorry, Seth, to block you. A big board in their office of people that they want to work with, and so they have all the names down there. We didn't have that list. It was just like whoever came to mind, and usually it was like whoever you had probably last contacted.
Yeah, it was very arbitrary. So anyways, but my point is people just showed up, and that's why, like, no one's in makeup. Not no one, but a lot of people weren't in makeup, not knowing they were going to be filmed. But by the way, there were no divas. They weren't like, oh my God, don't film me. But it's just fun to just see people looking so regular.
We literally did not say.
By the way, we're filming you.
We didn't give any instructions.
No, we didn't really know what was going on.
They didn't know if they were going to have a solo. They knew the song.
They knew what the song was, but we didn't say, will you please do a solo? We just said we're doing a group recording. And literally everybody said yes, unless they were out of town, or like I did to Anna Gasteyer, I gave her the wrong date. Remember that? I feel so bad. Anna thought it was on the Thursday. Anyway, but everybody said yes, unless they were literally working.
Right.
So anyway, you'll see, no one really has a makeup. Alice Strictly had like an eye issue that day. She's wearing sunglasses, so she looks like a full diva.
Yeah,
but
so without the explanation, it just looks like her being
why is she in sunglasses? No, she had like
mysterious.
A crazy, yeah. Then you'll see Edie Windsor was there. We had some special guests. Edie Windsor is part of the couple that basically sued, and that's why the Supreme Court, but that's why we have marriage equality now. She just passed away, but she was in her 90s. You'll see her. She's this beautiful blonde all the way on the side, and we had her there as kind of an honorary, because she ain't no singer, but we had her as an honorary guest. And
but she's got those headphones on, man.
Yes, got it going on. And then the final little clip you'll see in this little thing is Kelly O'Hara sassing, because it was supposed to go, world needs now love. It's not is love. And I said at the very beginning, I was like, there's no is. And then someone asked me that question, and goody two-shoes Kelly O'Hara sasses them. So I think this is the clip.
But that's me explaining those. So
yeah.
Okay.
That's it's the first clip. So it's not.
Oh, that's what we just showed.
This is what we just showed. Hold on, let me just start.
I know. I woke up Monday morning feeling completely helpless. I'm a complete news junkie. Did not want to watch the news at all. I went for a bike ride at 5:30. Went down, and at 6:30 I had Dionne Warwick's, What the World Needs Now Is Love. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's like we are the world. We have to come together and do this song. And I got home. He was still asleep. He slept for the next hour and a half while I wrote our music clearance person, and I wrote various people. And I woke him up and I said, Seth, we've got to do this, and we've got to do it Wednesday. And I called and I asked Van Dean, who recorded our Disaster album, and I said, Van, can we do this, Broadway Records? And he said, absolutely, without hesitation. And I said, I want to do it Wednesday, get it out Friday, and have all the proceeds go. And we have amazing people who underwrote. Mary Davis is here, and Danny, and I know I'm forgetting.
Playbill, everyone donated everything. Avatar donated. The Musicians Union signed off that all the entire full orchestra were gluten-free. I know, which is the most all musicians wanted to. It was just the union was on the fence, but all musicians wanted to do, and the union said we have to come together for this.
And then I called Glenda at the LGBT Center here, and I said, would you help us and be our charity, so then get the funds distributed to the center down in Orlando, which is what's going to happen. And then after that, after December, everything will go to them up until December 31st. After that, the plan is, because this is going to live on iTunes, and it can be downloaded. After that, any funds, sadly, tragically, it will, if in the future this, God forbid, happens, it will go to other centers and around the country to help them.
In perpetuity.
In perpetuity. That's where all the royalties are going to go.
Destiny Gay Rights royalty here. We actually have some music. We have Edie Windsor. She fought for the rights for marriage, and that's the reason why we actually have marriage now.
All for doing this so quickly and come together, and now I'm going to get off so we can get started.
Okay, harmony. So, I'm gonna basically the ensemble always sings "World Needs Now, Love, Sweet Love," and there are different incarnations of the harmony. So I'm gonna just teach you guys the harmony by rote, old school summer stock, and then you'll know it. That was, I don't need to write it again. I'll write it one more time. Yeah. So till the end of time, you can hear what the
World needs now is love, sweet love.
Okay, I love the phrasing. It's amazing. That's perfect. That one.
Is that the replacement is?
Yes.
So don't say it.
No,
Don't say it.
No. Ba, ba,
You said that already.
ba, ba, ba. I hope you heard that. That was Kelly. He said that already. She's such a rehearsal biatch. But by the way, of course, I love having a goody two shoes. Okay, so there's more of that. Just about to happen. Here's the second part of it. Oh, let me make sure. Oh, yeah. What you're gonna hear is this is after everyone recorded that, we started dividing out the solos, and I just made a random list, but it wound up being at one point someone just said, I guess if you don't have a Tony, please leave. I was like, it's really actually not true. But everyone I started listening basically had a Tony word. You'll hear them. Then at the very end, we had all these people doing riffs. We just were like going and riff for 24 measures, and then James and we did all the mixing with Mike Kreuter. So we the following day. So we took kind of the best riffs and we mixed them all at the end. But you'll see like Carmen Cusack and Lilia Swide, Orfeh and Keala doing all these riffs. Rosie O'Donnell and Marissa Jarmanoga had to come after. They were doing Match Game.
Yeah, they were doing. Were they doing it together?
I think they were doing Match Game. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So they came late.
So basically, after almost everyone had left,
except for the Rippers, and that's when the Rippers walk out. Rosie's like, "You're annoying," and "You're annoying," because they were so good. So you'll hear that. Keala's a whack ass, and you'll see her. She gives a bizarre explanation of what love is, but she commits to it, and then she's the most amazing Ripper, and then she's had it, I guess. Oh, and the other thing is, it's kind of fun. You'll see Jesse Mueller. For those of you that know the recording really well, everyone did 3 takes of their solos. So you'll actually see Jesse Mueller do a take of the solo that we didn't use, but it's actually really good. All right, so here it is.
Okay.
That's not fair.
You're great. You're gonna sell.
Oh my gosh. This is they're the real singers.
There are oceans and rivers. Literally it.
Do we harmonize together?
Yeah.
I know.
Did you just pee a little bit?
I cry. Oh, sorry. I was looking at the camera.
Not, of course. Never. Right. So Sarah B say, Carol say, Brenda,
I would love
Audra
to.
say. Lynn,
What do you have me do?
you're singing.
Am I the Bob Dylan?
We keep talking about Bob
Well, needs now.
Dylan.
You'll be
I'll be the tuneless Bob Dylan of the group.
I wrote you a
No. Oh, great. This is where I recorded. This is exactly where I recorded my Hamilton vocal. This booth.
Really?
That's where I recorded my Hamilton vocal.
The magic's here.
Yeah. Enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love. True love is the only thing that I'm thinking of. What the world. I'm the Bob Dylan of this
I like it. So you record one like that.
You don't need me. You're hired.
We're all doing it. Jessica, you're next.
Okay.
But for everyone.
fun.
Very
The
good.
two of you.
That was awesome.
Singing. Annoying and very annoying.
Beautiful and annoying.
Thank you. Gosh.
You know what?
It's like the sing-off.
Needs now love, sweet love. World needs now love, sweet love.
Yes. That was great, guys.
Love is Rosie Perez eating chicken. That's love, dude. It doesn't get any better than that. You look around you, it's everywhere. You see Rosie Perez eating chicken everywhere. It's the best ever. And that is love. Can I be done?
Yes, Kara.
Yes, you can be done.
Be done. You know what?
By the way, I can't. I won't even.
Cal, I hope you're watching. I'm waiting for the hostile text. Okay, so here we go. So now we'll show you the final video.
Gosh.
So here's the process. So we recorded that day on a Wednesday. We sent all the files to Mike Kreuter.
Well, and there were some people that were out of town.
Right.
So the first person that you texted wasn't in New York. She was in LA. And she's the one, Idina Menzel, who said, what about Kristen Bell?
Right. So
Right?
so they did it together.
Right.
And then Wayne Brady was like nearby, so he used the same camera.
Oh, is that how it worked? Okay.
Yeah, so Wayne Brady, that was all filmed there. Gloria Stefan was in Florida, so she's like, I just happen to have a home recording studio.
So
So
wait a minute, how did Gloria
Stefan's
Stefan get on board? It's not like we had her phone number.
there. Andrea, probably.
Andrea
Burns.
There you
Okay, then actually, Mike Moritz gave me a good idea because I was gonna begin actually with Adina, but we were nervous that it wouldn't be the same quality. And Mike said, he's like, you should begin with someone in the studio, and that's why Sarah Bareilles began it because it was still the same phrase. But the world needs now. But it was we didn't know. We didn't know. Like we didn't know what it was gonna be like.
Right.
But anyway, that's why Sarah began the whole
And you
thing.
didn't assign the parts ahead of time, right?
No, that was. Well, I did it. What do you mean by ahead of time?
like I don't know, like while we were still in the apartment.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, I was frantic, typical ADD. No, I was in the studio, hunched over. But it really overwhelmed me until James said to me, he said, "What's cool about We Are the World is that it's like, Cyndi Lauper, but then it's like Bob Dylan." He was like, the contrast of voices is what's so fun about it. So it actually made it easier for me to think that way. That I was like, it could just be like a weird conglomeration of voices. And you purposely wanted Sarah Jessica Parker because you thought her voice was so sweet.
For that particular phrase,
Yeah.
it was the perfect voice for that.
So then we mixed it at Michael Kreuter's, which was actually really fun. Just like, I remember James was like, I want the most Carole King-y sounding version of Carole King. Like you purposely got the one, remember?
Yeah, well, and it was even while she was in, because I think she said that she had not been in a recording studio in a long time when she came that day in June. And then she did a take, which of course, anything that she does is amazing. But I still cannot believe that I had the nerve to actually give Carole King a note to do a second take that basically to sound a little bit more like Carole King. And she did it. And I think that's the one we ended up using.
Sure it is.
There was just some like holding a note or, because everyone only had a line or half a line, but it was whatever note it was when we hear it, we'll see. And she did it. And she was like so respectful and sweet and
She wasn't
kind.
quite that respectful, and I can't believe I don't have this on film.
Well, that wasn't to me. That was to you, Seth.
Yeah, she completely busted me because I was dividing up notes, and I can't remember. I was like, basses, altos, you're on a B flat, and she was like, that's an A flat. She completely busted me so badly, and it was 100% true. She had perfect kids. She can F off. Her and Kelly O'Hara need to F, but she was totally right. I was like, you sassed me, and you got a
In
good
front
ear.
of everyone.
Yeah,
that's
got
right.
a good ear.
That's right.
Talk about that.
So we did the mixing on Thursday, and then on Friday, I think that we were in a meeting with MTI regarding Disaster, and I think that it was Bob Greenblatt who was helping us as far as getting it on NBC, and he was really, really supportive of us getting the song out there because we knew that it was going to be dropping on Monday, on iTunes, but we wanted some more support. And so he said, well, what about Maya and Marty? I think that they may have already recorded. Maya Rudolph and Marty Short had a show that summer. on NBC, and it aired on Tuesday nights. And I think that it may have already been taped.
Wow.
But he actually said, it gives me chills. He actually said, "We will reserve a segment of the show." Just makes me teary for you guys. And basically we went in on Tuesday. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but on Tuesday morning we went in and they opened the studio. They brought all the crew in. We got as many people from the recording as we could, and then other people too that were wonderful, that were around and available, like Cynthia Erivo, and came and.
Should we show the photos now? I feel like we're talking so much about it.
Sure, if you want. Yeah, that makes
to
sense. Because it's go ahead.
So here's
we're skipping ahead a little bit, but who cares?
Here's everyone that was Maya and Marty. I mean, I don't know if you can see.
Kind of a fishbowl look, but there were a lot of people there.
And we thought this was so cool. This is when they were camera blocking it. We were watching, and it was on the Saturday Night Live stage.
Yeah, so they asked me to come up because, you know, they don't necessarily know every Broadway person. They know TV people and rock star people. And so I went up there to say who the different people were as they would get the shots.
And by the way, what I get is, you know, on TV, they only want really celebrities. So every time there was a non-celebrity, they did this beautiful thing. They were cutting to photos of different memorials around the world for Orlando. And what I get it, they wanted to only have celebrity faces. But what's so hilarious is that, and it wasn't that long ago, literally one of the celebrities, one of the people they cut away from because she wasn't famous is literally now Oscar nominee, Cynthia Erivo.
Right.
They're like, no one knows who that is. So they literally cut, which is so hilarious.
I mean,
she's so famous now.
I think that they had Billy. And of course, Billy had already won the Tony Award for Kinky Boots, but that was before Pose. And so I don't know. Did they?
I don't even know if they include Billy. I don't remember they included him. I know
I don't
Cynthia.
think it's
they were
available
like
online. But yeah, Cynthia.
They were not interested.
No.
Okay. Is there anything else I have to
just
say?
goes to show you how quickly things can change. And I think we just went and because we did it on the Wednesday, mixed it on Thursday, talked to Bob Greenblatt on Friday, and then that weekend it was Father's Day.
Oh yeah, here this is our little Father's Day celebration. Wow, that was just a crazy time, man. So here's the actual video. The thing, just the little tiny noticeable things I like is that Andrew Martin for some reason has to conduct herself. So just spot Andrew Martin's conducting. I don't know what. There's no orchestra because we pre-recorded the orchestra. Conducted herself. And we just love Liz and Ann Hampton-Callaway. They sound amazing together.
And this is filmed and edited by Mark Kozofsky, who also helps us here at Stars in the House.
Yes, we love Mark Kozofsky.
And of course, we have to thank Playbill and Phil Bursch and Alex and everyone there.
And Blake Ross. Blake Ross got so much food for us.
Who, as you know, if you watch the show, she is our producer and our Feel Good Friday correspondent.
Yes,
so you can see, if you had looked at the previous video, there was Blake right there.
Yeah, man. I think this is it. Let me see. I think this is it.
Take it.
No, I guess it's this. It doesn't look like it.
I think it's that one, yeah.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb.
There are oceans and rivers
enough to cross, enough to last
till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow.
There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine.
Oh, listen, Lord,
if you wanna know,
if you wanna know.
what the world just for some, but for everyone. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs
By the way, it's hilarious that Fran Drescher's right in front of the mic. What if that's the only voice you heard? Thank God we were able to mix it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so here we go. So the next thing that happened. So we came out on Monday. We went to #1 on iTunes, which was a very big deal.
We duked it out with Justin Timberlake's. What was that song from the cartoon movie? Can't Stop the Feeling.
I don't know. We stopped it. We stopped it.
That's right. We did it for
Then
2
we got
days.
the most amazing. You got it there?
Yes.
Then James got the most amazing message ever in the world, and we will now play it for you.
Yes. And so this message, just to tell you how crazy it was, I got this message on the Tuesday when we were on our way to NBC to 30 Rock.
Mine, Marty.
And I did not even have time to listen to this. Hold on. Here we go. Is it playing? Hold on. Uh-oh. I had everything off for the...
Hey, James, we're back in London, and I just want to congratulate you. Kind of a brilliant job. All the people that worked on this. I knew nothing about this until last night. And Sue showed me on the computer this video. Oh, I'd love to talk to you. I'm deeply honored to be part of it, to have my music included in this. What a production. How great. I'd love to talk to you about it. Just congratulate you verbally, person to person. So, if you can, give me a call.
Yeah.
And then incredible. We flipped out. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we flipped out, man. Okay, so that happened. Then it was June. It was June, so of course it was Gay Pride, and we actually had our own sassy float. And here we are with Liz Calloway and our son Nick.
That's right.
And we kind of performed it. We played it. Sorry, I'll go. We played it and we traveled on this float. Oh, hold on. That's super common. It's gonna keep me there. Yes, it's Brooke Bacharach. Hold on. Yes. Hi, Michael. Anyway, so we played it on this float, and then in back of us was a car attached to the float. We had some Broadway royalty. Our Saturday night host, Cheetah Rivera, was there. And there's Harvey Evans sitting down. Harvey Evans was in West Side with him.
And they're going to be doing West Side Story on an upcoming Saturday.
Yes, they're all going to be together. So that was Gay Pride, which was amazing.
So I think I was wearing the shirt.
Oh, cute.
I think so.
Yes, Orlando Strong.
There you go.
Then the next thing was, the Macy's 4th of July.
So again, NBC came through.
Yeah, they were great
for us. And they were great. And so they suggested on July 4th, there's a big Macy's July 4th spectacular, right? With the fireworks and performances. And so they said, what about Sarah Bareilles doing What the World Needs Now Is Love.
It was like an acoustic version.
Almost an acoustic with the piano, and they got this big rooftop building in Midtown. Getting teary-eyed. And it was pretty spectacular. Go ahead. It was for this little pictures. Me and Seth and Sarah and Van Deen.
Van Deen, who's a producer of Broadway Records.
And so we got to watch on the side with pride and love for Sarah and watching the crowd watch her. I think you can find it, bootlegs, I think, online of that. Anyway.
And then the amazing Stage Door Manor, you know, we love, actually, the two amazing theater camps, they always duke it out, French Woods and Stage Door Manor. We actually love them both. Stage Door Manor was wonderful, and they basically offered a challenge for people to record their own videos of What the World Needs Now Is Love, and then they would keep donating to Orlando.
Because as you may know, Stage Door Manor has quite a few now famous alumni, and so they involved some of them.
But first, you went up there, though.
Yeah, I went up there, and they this was like the initial, I think, recording that they did of all of them singing What the World Needs Now Is Love, and I think that's what perhaps started their challenge. I don't quite remember, but
and then then here's one of the famous alumni who is not really quite as famous at that point, because remember, this is June 2016.
Exactly.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Still got it.
And in fact, so their challenge was, what was it, Seth? To make people make a video of themselves, and for each video that they would donate $10 to the Gay and Lesbian Center.
And they wound up donating. They wound up donating $5,000.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
$5,000. It was amazing.
It was really, really wonderful. So thank you for that. Then we went down to Orlando to do this big concert for Orlando, and all these great Broadway people came down. That concert is available on DVD. It's called From Broadway with Love.
Yeah,
right?
Broadway Records. You go to Broadway Records.
And the DVD is available.
And they have all of that information there.
Then Hal Leonard contacted us, and they said, can we publish your arrangement? So Cam Encore, I think he wrote out the piano part, I guess.
Right.
And then I added the vocal arrangement. And what's really fun is like a lot of choruses now do it, and when you do it, all the stars' names are there. So it's like I have the Audrey McDonald solo, like I have the Star Bros. Like all the names are in the actual sheet music.
It's really cool.
And then Henderson, remember contacted you?
after the next big massacre in the United States, the larger one in Vegas, the high school choir in Henderson asked us for the arrangement.
And recently, in Canada, where there was that horrible shooting.
Yeah, we haven't even seen that one. The one in Nova Scotia. They asked us for the arrangement, and I think they may have used orchestration. I don't remember, but they contacted us for that. I mean, it's sad to be contacted for those reasons, but it's nice that we can offer, thanks to everyone who worked on the song, something like that.
Yeah. And then we were asked to perform at the DNC.
At the Democratic National Convention. That was in July of 2016. There were a lot of stuff happening that summer.
And Len Cariou was allowed to come eventually, right? At first,
so Len is Canadian. And Heather, his wife, and Len were like, you know what? We've lived in the United States for a long time. We've been supportive of the Democratic Party for a long time. You know, come on, James, tell them that. And of course they
were able to actually come. But it was
come on.
Everyone had to be vetted, like social security numbers. It was
crazy. Not since Stars in the House, we didn't quite know what we were getting ourselves into.
Oh my God, the Secret Service vetting.
When they said yes, because what happened was Rosie Perez is our good friend Rosie Perez is very much involved as an activist and in the Democratic Party, and so she put us in touch with a friend of hers, who then was able to know people there. So that's kind of how it happened. It's a friend of a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
And so they said, well, they're going to have an evening that's dedicated to victims of gun violence. And so what about doing the song? And it would be right before President Obama would speak, which was pretty amazing. But it was literally not since Maya and Marty a few weeks earlier where they had squeezed us in. They were basically squeezing us in
they got 3 minutes
convention segment. And not having an assistant. And Seth was working in Provincetown. I'll never forget us being in Provincetown, and we had a deadline because you had to be approved by the Hillary Clinton campaign.
To be approved, you had to be vetted.
You had to be vetted, and you had to get Secret Service vetting. And so we had to get literally everyone's social security number, their date of birth, where they were born, full legal name,
which we
all of
kept. It's better for scamming, just for credit card scams. It's so much better. Anyway, here's James flipped out because remember it was the last minute. Remember first you got Sharon Glass?
Okay. So I thought to get the widest audience that, again, we of course wanted to keep our Broadway friends, but not everyone appreciates Broadway.
Not everyone was available, so we had extra room.
And not everyone was. Yeah, because, for example, Jesse Mueller was doing Waitress.
Yeah.
Kayala was doing Waitress. So all those people who had sung and, they were
album.
Right. Lin-Manuel Miranda was doing Hamilton. So all of those people we had to have, because this was on a Wednesday night, and even though it was in Philadelphia, you still couldn't work on either show that day. So we got new people. And so two of the people I thought would be fantastic would be Cagney and Lacey, Sharon Glass and Tyne Daly.
But only one was available.
And even then, I think it was...
No, first of all, the story is only one was available, and we kind of got him at the last minute.
Not to say that was at the last minute.
Right, and then the deadline passed. So I think Sharon was available.
And I had to beg for Sharon Glass.
So Sharon Glass got in, and the deadline passed.
And they said, and the folks that were in charge of the convention said, James, that is the absolute last person.
Yeah.
That is it. You can't have anyone else. End of story.
Cut to Tyne Daly was like, "Hey, I'm available." Past the deadline. So I was like, they said no, forget it. It's not gonna happen.
I was just like, I can't deny a Cagney and Lacey reunion. Come on. And so I called them up and just said, please.
Well, no, what you said was, do you want to be the person that tells whoever, I can't remember who it was, but you're like, that you prevented a Cagney and Lacey reunion. You basically kind of threatened them. But the point is it worked out.
I like my version.
It was not pleased at all. And here they are, looking amazing with James.
Of course, it was really my fantasy to
he's trying to hang out with them
because I love.
And there they are. They took a picture of themselves in front of the thing.
Yes, very sweet.
Deb Messing was super helpful. Look how cute she looks.
That was right after.
So on the way down, we all went down on a bus. We just took a big bus down, and
it was funny. So fun.
Remember, you saw Cagney and Lacey literally eating on 72nd Street at that diner.
Okay, so cut to regarding the bus. This was basically advice that Andrew Martin has given us regarding the show of like, if things are too difficult, don't do them because you're going to go crazy. And so Seth has always had that philosophy much better than I do, because I'm more of like let's try to make it work, even if it's at my own expense, mental and physical.
And I'm like, let's make it work.
And like, let's make it work.
And I don't care.
Yeah. And so we were going to have like a midpoint place, like in Times Square or something like that. And Seth was like, no, we were living on 74th in Columbus at the time. Seth is like, 72nd in Columbus sounds good to me.
We're doing so much work.
So anyway, of course he was right.
Right across the street was Cagney and Lacey, and we're like, girls, the bus is leaving on time.
True. So they were at the deli across the street. It was
we're like,
so cute.
Pay your bill, bitches. Anyway, so we had a rehearsal on the way down, because remember, this wasn't like a long running show. Like, we'd sung this once in a recording studio and then once in Miami Marty. It's not like people knew this down pat.
Yes, exactly.
So we had to keep rehearsing. This is the rehearsal on the bus
and
on the way down.
it's not really that long of a trip down to Philadelphia.
No, I basically had to teach
like 90 minutes.
I think this is it.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Yeah, by the way, we just noticed in our banner.
We just realized.
I don't know why that banner is going.
Donate at starsofthehouse.com.
Wow.
That wasn't there before, though. That's weird.
Oh, I must have pushed it when I did Brett Bacharach.
That would be a delete.
Yeah, so hold on. Let me just see. So where's the one that I want the information?
You do.
Hey, guys, make sure you forward those emails, because people keep donating.
I don't know if we're going to have time, Seth, because we're trying to get done by 3 o'clock. So
forward the emails if you can.
The Mother's Day.
Okay, so hold on. I have more. So now here's Democratic Convention. We actually have the recording. Is there anything we need to say about it?
Okay. So people, I'm getting there.
You're running out of time is pausing.
Well, but you know what? This is too important, because people weren't necessarily helpful when it came to the microphone situation.
Oh, I'm not up to that yet. Hold
You're
on.
not?
No,
I thought you
look
were
at
about
this.
to show it.
No, but I wanted to say, first of all, how amazing Kristen Bell was.
Okay, all
she
right.
really wanted
all
to
right.
be
Well,
there.
before we get to the microphone.
Yeah, just look at this up.
All right,
Kristen Bell was there. She literally was in LA filming, and she not only she not only flew herself to the DNC.
She had just done. Good Place had not aired yet. She was literally like filming. The night before, and she had a day off.
And she flew herself to the DNC.
Middle seat economy. Did you already say that?
No, I was actually that was actually gonna be the climax of the story.
Guess what?
Wonderful
because
cutoff.
Kristen Bell is so amazing, and we love her.
Leading to the joke.
It doesn't matter because she got on the first flight out of LA. This is the kind of person that Kristen Bell is. Bought her own ticket.
Yeah, bought her own.
Coach, middle seat, because that's all she could get. Flew to Philadelphia. It's not like there's a ton of flights that are nonstop from LA to Philadelphia. LA to New York, yes. LA to Philadelphia, not so much. She got there, I think, at like 5 o'clock. She immediately did press with me and Seth.
Yeah,
she was telling us, I'll never forget it. We were like walking down the hall, and she was just like, we just filmed a pilot for this show called The Good Place. It's so, I love the moral story of it and all this. And she said, I think you guys are gonna really like it. She was explaining the plot of it, and and I said, well, when do you have to get back? And she said, oh, I have to be in the makeup chair tomorrow at 10 a.m.
She was dedicated.
So she was gone from LA less than 24 hours.
Being dedicated, Audra gave birth maybe like
3 months.
Yeah,
yeah,
really right after that. Audra drove herself down while fully pregnant. Drove herself to Philadelphia.
No. She was going to, and we insisted.
That's what it was.
It's like this is insane, Audra.
I can drive.
It can drive. You're gonna drive 3 hours, 6 months pregnant,
crazy steering wheel into the belly
in the dark. It's like hell no. You got to get a car.
Here's a picture of Cole House and Sarah. This is. Can you see? That's Brian Stokes Mitchell.
We don't know if he's kissing who would be Sally James or talking to her. We don't know, but it's a sweet picture.
And just FYI, James was right about having Cagney Lacey, because I never watched the show that much. I was like, oh, that's cool. They're going to be on. That'd be really fun to have them, not knowing it was going to literally make Entertainment Weekly. They were A, that night trending on Twitter, and B, they made the bullseye on Entertainment Weekly. You know, their bullseye on the last page. They were it. What the world needs now is more Cagney Lacey.
Absolutely.
And what James is saying about the microphones, we could not figure out how to use the microphones. They basically gave us 4. So we were in a panic passing them the whole time. And just FYI.
And it was choreographed. I mean, we did the best we could. It's not like there was a microphone for every single person.
They didn't have them.
They didn't have them. And we also knew it would be crazy having a microphone like this that people lose the sound.
We did that once and it was crazy. So we just had to pass it. But
it didn't work.
You always see the person next to the person singing, I could grab her. And then as they start singing, the person next to them is like, I could grab her.
Are you about to show the video of it?
Yeah.
So, but watch who does it masterfully. And you can't see everything.
Tell us who it is.
It's the last group: Liz and Ann Hampton Calloway and Rosie Perez and Stephanie J. Block.
Yeah, they had it going on.
It down. They knew what they were doing. They were actors prepared. And we're
not going to call out who.
We're not going to call them out. And it's also a little bit. There are cutaways to the audience, which is great, but you can't actually see everyone.
They're either people who forgot to take the microphone, or the people who grabbed early. So just those are the other things to watch. We're not going to call them out. Here we go.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another mountain.
There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb.
There are oceans and rivers
enough to cross,
enough to last
till the end of time. What the world needs now, love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for grow. There are some dreams and moonbeams enough to shine.
Oh, listen,
Listen, Lord, if you wanna know.
If you wanna know. Thing that there's just too little of.
But the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for song,
but for what the world needs now is the sweet love. What the world needs now is the sweet love. What the world needs now is the sweet love.
what the
The world needs now is the sweet love. The world needs
It's pretty cool, right?
Wow, you know, there were a few things that we didn't mention. One, little did we know 4 years later that Adrienne Warren would be such a spectacular. We knew how much we loved her in Shuffle Along.
Oh my God, yeah.
But then for her to be doing Tina,
and like so brilliant.
oh my God. So there's that. Number two, I wasn't supposed to be singing. It was supposed to be Wayne Brady, who will be with us tomorrow night.
Yes.
On the show, but I was actually Wayne's understudy.
Yeah, so we did like a dress, and Julie was Audra's understudy.
That's
so
right.
Audra was, taking. I guess she had car service or something. So
Yeah.
Audra missed the rehearsal, and Wayne missed the rehearsal, and I was like, "Fine, James, Julie, go on." And then Wayne wound up his flight. I guess I can't remember why.
I don't
he couldn't
remember.
do it.
He was heartbroken that he couldn't make it, and it was. I do think it was some. I don't know if it was a connection that was missed or what. But the other thing was, we thought that we were earlier. When we had, I don't know if there are pictures of when we were rehearsing. I think there might be one. But
Here it is.
while we were rehearsing, we thought we were only going to have 10 minutes. I feel like we had like
An hour.
We had an hour, which was really helpful because it wasn't, there you go. So during our rehearsal, we had the band. I'm going to put you on the spot.
I don't remember his name.
Okay.
So don't ask.
Okay. I'm going to remember it and I'm going to look it up. Because it's someone that you know well.
She panicked.
But they were so wonderful in working with us. And if I remember correctly, they wanted the chorus to only be two times through.
Right.
And
they kept saying, "Oh, let's end it early."
Yeah, and I would say
that's where you were a great producer.
Well, this is where I would say what the world needs now is love. Really gave me confidence as a producer because of what we did, what we had accomplished the month before under really record time, of course, with the help of a lot of amazingly talented people, but also my instincts with the song, because by that point we had sung it at We'd sung it in Pride. We had sung it at Bryant Park.
Right.
We
And
had
also
done it
Orlando,
enough times in Orlando. And so I knew what the audience would want.
To have that repetitiveness.
To have that repetitiveness to join in. And much to their credit, to the director of the convention, who I think he directs the Republican and the Democratic conventions, and he'd been doing it for years, said yes. And I think that it was a huge, well, Entertainment Weekly said it was, I'm proud to say, the #1 pop culture moment of either convention was all of those people singing What the World Needs Now Is Love. But I think it was also the momentum that you saw in the audience. Little did we know, if you saw our friend Tish James, who's now the Attorney General of New York, she was there as the public advocate of New York. There was also our friend Brad Hoylman, state senator of New York. And there was also, we noticed, our congressman, Representative Maloney, was there with his husband.
Sean Maloney, because we live upstate. So yeah, everyone in this sort of
everyone
our
was
little
there.
governmentals were all there.
Yeah. And so after that, no one had told us what to do. Everything was planned before then, but none of us knew when to get the hell off the stage. Right. And so that was one of the reasons that we were staying there. We didn't expect A, the audience reaction to be what it was, or B, when to go. We knew the direction that we had come from. There was no host.
To be like, see you guys.
There was,
there was no curtain.
And so everyone just kind of, that was one of the reasons why we stood there, which
was so great.
I mean, I'm glad we did. But do you remember, Seth, when we finally got on the bus, the one person who stayed? Because we already had our credentials to stay. Richard Kind. Richard Kind was like, I'm going to stay. And we were like, how are you going to get home, Richard? You came on the bus. He was like, I'll figure it out. Because he had the credentials and he wanted to hear President Obama speak. And so Richard, smart man, did that. And he was like, this is my opportunity and I'm going to seize it. And he did.
Oh, man.
And so, but as we were leaving, do you remember when we were leaving the convention center? You going that? Yeah. What?
I remember we got blocked because we got basically shut down because Obama's cavalcade came in.
Well, yeah, when we got to see it come in and go past us.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Seth.
All right. So what happened right after that is that we got an email from Bobby Shaw, who is a dance music.
He basically helped put Madonna on the map in the 80s.
Yeah. And
he was like the guy who in the dance clubs, he was the one who decided what got played.
And now he does dance remixes, and he's like, I want to make a dance remix of What the World Needs Now Is Love. And we're like, so the song's in 3/4. What the 1, 2, 3? He's like, what's the dance? It's gonna be like a disco waltz. So like, how is it going to be made? But he turned the 3/4 song into 4/4. He just extended beats. It's bizarre. We worked with Sean Hayes' husband, Scotty Eisnagel, who totally helped. It was this whole collaboration.
Yeah, we were also like, is this guy for real? He contacted us, and Scotty was like, yeah, Bobby Shaw's for real.
Yeah. It literally was then voted the song of the summer. This song, just the dance remix, because there were 4 different ones put on. It was on the.
It might have even been more than that. It was like crazy the number
maybe
of
there's
people.
6 different dance remixes.
Yeah, you can go to
because he went to all these famous people to do the dance remixes.
That's right. It's on Spotify and on iTunes if you want to support. Because now, P.S. You hear a little bit of it at the beginning, but it's like half the profits go to the GLBT Center still in Orlando, and the other half goes to the Trevor Project.
So, which we just raised money for a couple days ago.
Exactly.
So you can still buy it. You can buy both. You can buy the regular. But anyway, this dance remix we wound up doing. It was on the charts for 8 weeks. We wound up doing then a full dance
made on the Billboard Dance Club chart. Didn't know it existed, but it was on there for 8 weeks.
Yeah, literally a dance remix singing star is now Len Cariou. I was on the dance charts for 8 weeks. So anyway, this is the dance remix video. Here's some of the stars you can see that were actually on the dance because we filmed it. Tony Yazbek, Liz Calloway's there, Charles Bush, B.D. Wong, B.B. Newworth, Norm Lewis, Anika Larson, Sean Hayes, Eric McCormick, Vanessa Williams, Christine Petty's there, Cheetah Rivera, Lila Crawford, of course, R. Julie, Kristen Chenoweth's on. Anyway,
because we did it a combination of in a studio and then people who couldn't be there in person send in videos.
Here we go. This is the dance remix.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't
So you can still get that version. You can get the version in 3/4, and you can get like we said, they're either 4 or 6 dance music versions.
Wow.
It's so weird to hear that version.
In conclusion, Seth, I think we have something comical that I remember getting that and had never heard.
I think Julie discovered it. I think Julie saw it first online.
Okay.
I think she freaked out and saw it first
because
online.
we had made it, not for any of the other stuff, but for what you're about to show.
Well, I think we should say what it is. And then
so go ahead.
There's this thing online called bad lip reading where they show videos of things and then they fill in what it looks like the person is saying. And it's always really bizarre and comical. And not only did they do it for What the World Needs Now is Love, but they featured someone very special. Let's take a gander.
You know what? This is weird. F this. Oh, baby, yeah. Hey, baby, Whoa! It's beautiful. It's like the backyard. Huh? What? Chicken Town.
Yo, we don't need those awful brown stains. There are bunnies in the sky, and you and I just can't feel them.
Naturally.
We have to watch it one more time.
You know what? This is weird. F this. Oh, baby, yeah. Hey, baby, Whoa! It's beautiful. It's like the backyard. Huh? What? Chicken Town.
Yo, we don't need those awful brown stains. There are bunnies in the sky, and you and I just can't feel them.
There are?
That's all I'm speechless. So
we want to say Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. If it weren't for our mothers, I do not believe that we would be nearly as socially active as I'd like to think we are.
Yeah, my mother was always like marching against Vietnam and she was a teacher before there were unions. She was marching for a teachers union. And your mother was basically Helen Reddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Single mother who wrote to her congressman, because they were mainly men then, and he was, about the war in Vietnam. And in fact, had written so many letters, more letters, I think, to him than anyone in his district. And so
she did?
And so in return, he paid a visit to my mom. We were living with my grandparents at the time.
I didn't know this story at all.
Yeah, and he paid a visit to our house.
To tell her to stop writing?
No, he was actually, I think, supportive of her. And came, I mean, I was too young, like what, 3 or 4 years old, but that's what happened. So there you go.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
All right, well, everybody.
So tonight at 8 o'clock,
it's Mother's Day special.
Mother's Day special with Andrea Martin, Sutton Foster, LaChance, and Charlotte D'Amboise. And then tomorrow at 2 p.m., Andrea, went from Andrea Martin to Andrea Burns with Georgia Stitt and Jason Robert Brown.
Yeah, she went to, remember we were talking about stage door?
Yeah.
She went to French Wood to Jason
right.
Robert Brown. There's going to be some amazing music tomorrow. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern.
And then we're going to be back tomorrow night with, I was going to make a joke. I'm not my understudy.
Yeah, if Wayne can't make it, James will be here.
That's right, I'll be here. Okay.
As we know.
And on that note.
Should I be playing the credits?
People want to go to Beetlejuice. That's okay. We're
Beetlejuice, it's Mother's Day special. There's a person that keeps talking about Beetlejuice.
That's all I know.
Yeah, Robert, you got to cut.
Bye.
All right, everybody, bye. Oh, you can't say bye, I'm leaving, and then he's still